Hello guys, welcome to another episode of GameSpot's Now Playing. We are in the GameSpot UK Games Room with Mr. Jamin Smith, who's the community manager for Born Ready Games. Welcome, Jamin.
Hello, thank you very much for having me.
So Jamin, your game has smashed its Kickstarter target and is sort of at the forefront of the sort of space combat resurgence, I would say, for next year.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely one of the first of those new wave of space combat games to be getting a release. So yeah, we kind of are, which is nice.
Cool. We're super excited because the game's out next year, but you're going to give us an exclusive glimpse into one of the later levels in the game.
That's right. Yeah. So this is the 8th mission in the game, where you'll see in a sec. But there's one of your flagships, the Mercury, it's called, and you're there to protect it. Make sure the intel that it's secured is safe, because the intel has the chance of saving Earth. Earth is in a situation where it might get destroyed, and the Mercury holds the intel to keep that safe. So that's what we're doing here.
So tell us a bit about the actual ship that you're piloting, because the first thing you're going to notice is that it's a combination of kind of traditional space combat, but with mech as well.
Sure. So, I mean, we'll talk about the old space combat games of yesteryear, of the the mid-90s. We went back and we looked at those games, and there's a problem that we call jousting, which is where when you're targeting an enemy and you end up flying just back and forth past it, trying to take it out. That was a solution that we resolved by introducing a mech. So you can transform. You'll see shortly when I do that. But you can transform from a fighter to a mech, which means you're manoeuvrable. You can turn around 180 degrees a lot more quickly and take out your enemy. So the strike suit isn't a gimmick. It's a direct solution to an archaic problem that we feel. I mean, those space combat games of yesterday are great, but they have aged, and we see this as a solution to that problem and to make the genre relevant again, essentially. So the ship is, we feel, making the genre relevant to today's gamer.
And tell us a bit about the work that you've done with you said it was Gingy, the guy that's done quite a lot of mech designs in the past to kind of get that authenticity.
Yeah, sure. So Gingy, he's worked on Steel Battalion, Infinite Space. What else did he do? He did Appleseed, if you're into anime. So for mech fans, he's quite a big deal. So to bring him on board and design our strike suit, not just the strike suit, but other ship and craft in the game as well, really brings an Eastern edge to the game. So this is the strike suit here, you can see. You'll notice it's dictated by, you can transform based on a flux meter at the top of the screen there. So when you kill enemies and when you take damage, that bar will fill. But yeah, Junji's been absolutely fantastic to work with. He's traditionally a very his mech designs are very Western in flavour. He's got a very functional approach to mecha design, which we really found interesting and was something that we wanted to bring into the game. So yeah, there's a real notion of East meets West in terms of our design. You'll notice the skyboxes here and the general vibrant, colourful aesthetic is very reminiscent of Homeworld, which is something we wanted to capture as well. So yeah, real notion of East meets West, which is really nice.
So much so, in terms of the Homeworld reference, that you brought the sound designer.
Yeah, absolutely. We managed to get Paul Ruskay on board, who's scored the whole game. And going back to that, fusion of cultures that I was telling you about, he actually collaborated with a Japanese singer-songwriter called Kokia to do the main theme for the game. So across all aspects of the game, sound, design, art, there's a real East meets West, a real Japanese meets Western flavour, which is really integral to the whole thing.
So we saw you sort of transform into strike mode there, and at that point, the combat changes a little bit. You're kind of painting your targets, aren't you, really?
Yeah, so it's quite similar to Res or perhaps Panzer Dragoon Auto, that kind of thing, in terms of painting the sky with targets and then releasing the button to fire off a whole barrage of missiles. So yeah, once you're in strike mode, you're a lot more manoeuvrable, a lot more powerful. We're keen to stress that it's not a power-up. It's integral to the whole experience and really does change up the core dogfighting, because we're a dogfighter. We want to verbalise to people this isn't a mech game, even though there's a mech at the core of the game. We're not a mech game. We're very much a space combat game with a mech, and I think it's important to verbalise that.
Just about survived that one.
Yeah, that was a close shave. You'll notice I boosted out of there as quick as I could.
So for anyone that hasn't noticed, at the top of the screen there's the armor bar, which is completely empty at this stage, and then recharging shields at the top, and then that flux meter you were talking about basically fills up during normal combat, I think, and then when you go into strike mode, you basically use that up whenever you're firing at the enemies.
That's correct, yeah. I mean, the strike suit isn't just there for offensive purposes. You can use it for defense as well. I mean, if you've noticed you've got missiles locked onto you, you can transform and dash out the way. So it's just as good for evasive manoeuvres as it is for offense. There's a lot of option strategy and a lot you can do with it.
This isn't over yet. There's more coming.
Coming back. Switching targets.
So in terms of the actual development of the title, Jam, I mean, it's kind of an interesting one because it's Born Ready's first game. You're based in Guildford, in the UK, which obviously is sort of hotbed of development talent anyway. But you've come together to make this game. It's been in production for a while, and you successfully passed your Kickstarter. I think was it last month?
Yeah, couple of weeks back now.
Couple of weeks back, okay.
Yeah, so I mean that's been a great boost to them. You know, both the morale at the studio, and it's great. We went into that Kickstarter not knowing how it was going to go down. This is a genre that's been dormant for a while. How are fans going to react to a new game? And it's just been overwhelming how well it has gone down. So it's been great for us.
And so in terms of that, I mean, it's a case of the people that was it 1,000 people got into the closed beta.
That's correct.
That was at a certain funding level. So
yeah,
but other people are going to be able to still, they can still invest essentially and get the game.
Yeah. I mean, we've still got, if people are liking the look of what they see, we've still got pledges running through PayPal, actually.
Right. So
you can still get some of our rewards. So there's some really cool stuff in there, actually. We've worked on 3D models for the game, so 3D figures of the strike suit, which is really quite cool. And some of our artwork, I mean, art's the big thing for us here. We think our skyboxes and our universe we've created is something really quite special. So we've got some really cool paintings and artwork and that kind of thing. So if you're interested in that side of it, do check it out.
And then later on, you were saying before to me that you've got Oculus Rift support coming, but the actual development kit's aren't in the office yet.
Yeah, exactly. So our kit should be arriving hopefully this month, so in a couple of weeks, with any luck.
And actually, we should explain what Oculus Rift is.
So Oculus Rift is it's a VR headset of sorts, but really looking to make it viable and relevant, because VR in the past hasn't gone down exceptionally well. But Oculus, which itself was a Kickstarter as well, actually, which was successfully funded. Dev kits are in the process of being made now, and the reaction to it was really positive. I actually got to try it at PAX earlier on in the year, and it was genuinely mind-blowing. I think it's going to completely turn the industry on its head.
Wow.
I can't wait for it to come out, and this might sound ridiculous, but I'm more excited about that than any of the next-gen consoles.
Really?
I think it's going to completely change the way we play games.
So you guys are excited to get a hold of this?
Yeah, I mean, admittedly, I'm slightly more excited than everyone else purely because I've tried it. It does come with that slight sense of nausea, but that's something they're working on.
Right. Okay.
That'll be fixed.
Because it still be obviously the dev kits aren't even out there yet. The final product isn't built,
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, for Strike Suit, you notice I can transform there. Well, not transform. I can switch view to first person. There's no cockpit in there at the moment, but it's something that will be in before the game launches. It's one of the last things that will go in.
Oh, you mentioned actually, yeah, some of the art in this version is just being tweaked, isn't it?
Yeah. So when you see some of our other pilots talking, their art is placeholder. So the new final stuff will be going in very shortly.
They're going back right. Correct, one break. They're going after Adam. Get this guy off me. Adam, he's all over. Adam.
And obviously, your score then will pop on your leaderboard.
Cool.
And see how you rank against friends. Yeah, and as I was saying, that score chaser side of it's really quite addictive. So.
Nice. So that's Strike Suit Zero.
Yes.
Thanks very much, Jamin. How can people find out more if they want to sort of check it out on your website or on?
Yeah. So you can head to strikesuitzero.com, or you can head to the Kickstarter page where there's still a lot of chatter going on, still a lot of people talking about the game, or alternatively just on our Facebook or Twitter. You can get in touch with us there as well.
Cool. Thanks very much, Jamin.
No worries. Thank you.